Good morning. We've got a few minutes before it's noon, and we're doing a sound check, and I'm looking up something, so you're going to see the top of my head for a minute. And we're trying to see. Okay, so I do have, there's nothing in writing as far as phase 2 goes. As far as a different food plan or anything like that, Trish.
It's just different.
Okay, well, if there's a different
recipes, basically.
Okay, that
It's
works.
the same food plan, just some different recipes.
Okay, awesome. Because she's doing the food plan 100%. So it's just interesting to see what people do. So
Why she's having such good luck.
it is. It is noon. Is it noon? I think so. My computer is telling me I have a 12:30 appointment, and normally it tells me that 30 minutes before we start. So we're doing a sound check, and we're good. So hello, it's bright and sunny here in downtown Humble, Texas at Abundant Health and Wellness. And I am Dr. Polly Heil-Mealey. It is a live clinic, and I think we're going to have people come in just a moment. So anyway, so just be aware of that. The date today is September the 1st, 2017, just for the people that are going to look at YouTube and wonder why I'm talking about what I'm talking about today. But if you're watching this live or you're watching this on September the 1st, 2017, you know that we have just finished a week of a delusional flood. I mean, I was thinking about Noah this morning, and how on day 4 I was just going crazy with the rain and just the anxiety of the rain. Not really anxiety as in panic attack, but just the trepidation of, oh my goodness, how many more people are going to flood? How many more leaks are we going to have? How many more streets? How many more people are going to be in their vehicles and all that kind of stuff? So it's been a crazy, crazy week, and I was thinking about Noah this morning. 40 days and 40 nights of incessant rain. So you can't see outside, but outside it is a bright, sunshiny day, and we're very, very grateful for that. We are in the North Houston area, and almost all of our roadways are clear now. There's a little bit of ponding, but certainly the rivers don't run through it anymore, if you know what I mean. So today I wanted to kind of talk to you about stress relief as it relates to the stress that we have all been undergoing because of this hurricane and the flood waters. Now, you may say, and we've had people come in the office and say, oh, it hadn't affected me, my home didn't flood, my streets didn't flood, and we're all good, so it hasn't affected me, and I'm not in the stress. Well, let me just tell you, if you have not suffered stress, then you have absolutely no empathy for your fellow man. And that's another issue that we need to discuss at another time. I was watching this morning the news that I watch, and Gloria Gaynor was on, and of course her iconic I Will Survive. She was singing that live, and she had rewritten a verse, or she had written a new verse for us here in Houston. And as I listen to that verse, I'm in my bathroom, I'm getting all this all together, and we have Beth. Oh, thank you, Beth. We had, when I was watching her and she was singing this verse for Houston, I just started crying. And I mean, it wasn't boohoo crying, but it was just, thank God somebody is telling us that we're going to survive. Now, I'm a Christian. I believe that God is not surprised when these things happen, and I know I'm going to survive. You know you're going to survive. You have survived. But I used to live on the San Jacinto River, and we would flood probably every 3 to 4 years. We had a 2-story house. We would move what we could move upstairs. My daddy would stay at the house because of the looters. He would take us 4 children and Mom, and we would go to a nearby hotel to get out of the flood waters and all that kind of thing. And then we would go back to the home, and the home would smell, and the home would be full of critters and dirt, and it would just be overwhelming. So a lot of you have not had this happen to your home, and thank God, but you are in somebody else's home. You are helping your friends, you're helping your neighbors, you're doing what you can at the shelters, and so you are experiencing some stress. So what I want to talk to you today about is how you can do some things for you, and it doesn't cost you anything, because who has extra money right now, right? So this is called Emotional Freedom Technique, or EFT. Now, we do this here in the clinic. You can go to a therapist and get some really good therapy with this, but you can also do it yourself. It's a do-it-yourself thing. So I want to read a couple of things to you so that you can, hey Kim, thanks for joining. I'm going to read some things to you so that you can get an idea of what this is. It's not New Age. It's not some kind of Hindu thing. This is just working with the body the way God made the body. So this is what you may or may not know. Up until a few short years ago, the medical field did not really understand about lymphatic vessels. They knew about lymph nodes, but with the improvements in our technology, they've actually been able to find microscopes that can enlarge things to such a degree that they now can see the lymphatic vessels that run throughout the body. So it's something that is now visual, and before it was just all theory. They also, because of our new technology, have been able to see that running right along the lymphatic vessels are energy meridians. Hey.
Hi.
So you're here again on Facebook Live.
I must have good time.
So when we are looking at the technology shows that the traditional Chinese meridians, right, where the life of the vessel, the life of the body goes, what we're doing is we're saying now with our technology that the scientists are saying, yes, on top of the lymphatic vessels is another system that conducts electricity, and this corresponds with the traditional Chinese meridian. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to teach you about emotional freedom technique. So when you're looking around your neighborhood, you're looking at things that you've lost, you're looking at mementos that are wet, and you're just a little bit anxious, I'm going to help you help yourself. So I'm going to read you some information so that I don't get it wrong. So tapping, we're going to talk about tapping today. Tapping is a combination of the ancient Chinese acupressure points and modern psychiatry, right, psychology really, that works to physically alter your brain and your energy systems all at once, okay? So the practice consists of tapping with your fingers, 2 fingers, right, on traditional meridian points while talking through the traumatic memories and a wide range of emotions. Now, don't get all wigged out on, I need a plan, I need a written plan. You don't need a written plan. What you need to do is follow your instinct, because your body is really, really smart, okay? So, Dr. Church says, acupoint tapping sends signals directly to the stress centers of the midbrain, not mediated by the frontal lobe. Now that's the thinking part. Because EFT simultaneously accesses stress on the physical and emotional levels, EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, gives you the best of both worlds, body and mind. It's like getting a massage during a psychotherapy session. Have a great weekend, dear.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. In fact, it is EFT's ability to access the amygdala, an almond-shaped part of your brain, that initiates your body's negative response to fear. It is a process we often refer to as the fight or flight response that makes it so powerful. So, in your brain, you've got an amygdala. Now, nobody really knows, probably lay people don't know what that is, but it is the part of the brain where stress goes, and stress gives you that fear, that anxiety, that panic, that kind of thing. So what we're going to do with the Emotional Freedom Technique is we're going to release that by affirmations. I'm a Christian, so I normally will use scriptural affirmations, right? Because we know that there are angels out there that hearken to the word of the Lord, that cause the word of the Lord to come to pass. And so when I do affirmations, I always do spiritual affirmations. But you can do any kind of affirmations you want. It's totally up to you. So here is the technique. So the basic technique helps you focus and change the dynamic. So we've got people in our family that have flooded, and so I was reaching out to one of my nieces, and I told her, you need to reframe the situation, because you can get so bogged down in the stress of the day that you just can't move forward. You're overwhelmed. And I'm like that. Like I said, we lived on San Jacinto River, and the floods were very regular. In fact, when I was in my 30s, my mom said, I'm going to sell the house. Do you want it? And it was like, no, not even think about it, not a little bit. All right, I love my home. My daddy built the home. It's a custom home. But I don't have the intestinal fortitude to deal with the floods every 3 to 4 years. So no, and no thank you. No thank you, Mom. Anyway, so this is the basic technique for the emotional freedom technique. So you use your hand and you use your words. So you focus on the fear or the anxiety, the bad memory, an unresolved problem, or anything that is bothering you. While maintaining that mental focus on the issue, you're going to use your fingers, 2 or 3, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't have to be hard, and you're going to tap 5 to 7 times on each of your 9 body's meridian points. All right? Tapping on these meridian points while concentrating on accepting and resolving the negative emotions will access your body's energy, restoring it to a balanced state. Now, we know that people have different trite phrases, and I'm saying a trite phrase. I'm not saying it's trite as in it's not important, but we say this too will pass, or the sun will shine tomorrow, or whatever we say to get through the issue, and that's a good thing to do. But what we want to do is we want to really release that energy, so even though the situation hasn't changed, if your house is flooded, abracadabra, once you do this tapping technique, you're not going to be flood free. You're not going to be damage free. You're not going to be, it's not going to be 100% clean. But what is going to happen is you are going to recenter yourself so you can take a deep breath and you can plow through and you can do it without being paralyzed by fear and anxiety. So that's a good idea, right? It's a really good idea. So let me just show you where these meridian points are, okay? Take a pencil and write these down, because it's really, really important. So we're going to do the tapping. First, we're going to do it on top of the head, just very easy, top of the head. Then we're going to do the inner eyebrows. You can do this side or this side. You can do just right in the middle. The outside of the eye, under the eye, under the nose, on the chin. If you have a cleft chin, right there in the middle of your chin, on your collarbone, okay, on your collarbone. Then on your side, like here's my armpit, not in my armpit, but go under the breast where your ribs are, right? If you're a girl, where your bra strap is. Guys, be right in the middle of the pecs, right on the side, and you're going to tap right there as well. Then you're going to go back to the top of your head, okay? So it's really easy. If you forget a step, it's not that big a deal, right? It's just not that big. So I'll do again. Here, top of the head, over the eyebrows, inside of your eyebrows, outside of the eye, under the nose, under the chin, in the thymus area, under your side, and then back to your head. Okay? So, I know this is going to sound like preschool, right? It's going to look like preschool, but that's okay, because everybody's stressed, and it's going to look silly. Oh, and then at the end of the day, right, you're going to do this a couple of times, and then at the end, you're going to tap your wrists together, right? You're going to tap your wrists together, and you're going to breathe, and you're going to say peace, the word peace, and you're going to bring peace into the situation, okay? Does that help? All right. So, I forgot. The first part we want to start with is like where you would karate chop something. Right, this palm of your hand right here, the side of your hand. That's the first place we're going to start. We're going to start there, right? Then the top of the head, over the eyebrows, side of the eye, under the nose, on the chin, on the thymus, on the side, back to the head. When you finish all of that, then you're going to tap your wrists together, breathe deeply, and say peace, right? So I'm going to add some affirmations. These are not magic affirmations. I don't have anything written in front of me that's going to tell you about, I don't have anything written, so this is going to be like just on the fly, right? So I personally did not have flooding. I personally, was pretty much unaffected in my personal home. My children are safe and all that. But I've got a sister that flooded. I've got nieces that flooded. I've got other things that have happened. I've got dear friends that were flooded out. We've got just a lot of things going on. So what I want to do is get rid of all of that negative emotion so that I've got the energy that I need to go forth and help other people, right? So modify your affirmations to whatever affects you, okay? So we're going to focus on the problem, whatever the problem is, and I'm going to focus on my city because my city is what has problems. My city is what concerns me. My state is what concerns me, all right? So the affirmations, you're going to focus on the problem, and then you're going to be okay with the problem. You're going to be okay with working through the problem. You're going to have energy to get through the problem. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope it does. It's a little confusing, but work with me on this. Okay. So here we are. We're doing our first point of contact here, and we're saying that, oh, wow, we've had 5 days of delusional rain. It's horrible. People are flooded. People are without homes. People are hungry. People are carless, all those kind of things. We're powerless really to do anything in our own strength, right? However, we've got to get through this. So it's okay to be stressed. It's okay to have empathy for your friends. It's okay to have to go through this. I can do this. I'm going to have the energy to do this. I'm going to have wisdom from heaven to know what my friends need. I'm going to be able to have the stamina that I need to clean up what I need to clean up, to replace what I need to replace. I'm going to have financial provision in order to have the resources to have people come in and do what needs to happen. It's going to be okay. We're going to live through this. This is not going to be what happens for the rest of my life. I'm going to have what I need. I'm going to have the money I need. I'm going to have the mental ability that I need. I'm going to have the resources that I need. I'm going to have intuition. I'm going to have inspiration. I'm going to have the right people to call, the right people in my path that are going to be able to help me. So this is going to be okay. Now, I can already feel in myself the energy changing in my body. Okay, and I wasn't particularly stressed before as far as personal. I am concerned about my city, but I can already feel the energy starting to change. So, was that pretty easy? Yeah? Okay, so if I were through with that, right, if I felt like I already feel that my energy field has changed, there's no voodoo involved, you're not doing anything. All you're doing is releasing the trapped energy that causes us to feel unwell and paralyzed in our situation. So, if you're feeling good, if that's all you need to do, then you would just tap your wrists together. I feel better. This is resolved. My kids are good. I'm going to be able to help people. There's peace in the situation. Now, I truly feel very energized right now. And so that's something that you can do anytime, day or night, whenever you feel stressed, no matter what you feel stressed on. So I would appreciate some comments if you watch this, if you do this, to see how you're feeling. And this is called Emotional Freedom Technique. You can find YouTubes on this. We do have therapists here in the clinic that will do this with you. But it's really, there's nothing to it. You just do it. The affirmations you say or whatever is applicable to you. If you're sitting in the middle of your kitchen floor and you're looking at all the debris there, and you're sitting there and you're crying, do it through the tears, and it's okay. You don't have to be in a good place. In fact, if you're in a bad place, it's okay. I remember, and this has been some years ago, that we had a tragedy in our family, and the tragedy in our family involved a drunk driving. Somebody died in my family as a result of drunk driving, and it actually physically made me sick, and I didn't know why I should be sick. There was no reason I should be sick, but I did the tapping, all that I just showed you, and I was doing the affirmation, and one of the problems I was having is I was sick at my stomach, and when I'm doing the affirmations and talking through the problem, one of the things that I said was, I can't stomach this anymore, right? And as I said those words, all of that negative energy, all of that pain, all of that grief absolutely left my body, and my stomach settled down, and it was all really good. So when you're in a situation, life is difficult at times. There's nothing funny about this hurricane. There's nothing funny about people being displaced and homes being ruined and cars being ruined and all that kind of stuff. I've lived through it more times than I want to tell you, and there's nothing funny about it. So you could be in the middle of your kitchen floor just in a puddle because of what you're facing. But if you are, and if you do this, then you will get some relief, and you will still have to clean up your mess, but you won't be paralyzed. You won't be stuck in your stuff, as a friend of mine likes to say, and you'll be able to move forward. So this is a technique that you can do at any time. It doesn't hurt you. You look a little silly, but most people don't do it on Facebook Live. Okay, so that's all right. We actually do have products in the office. If you can get here and you would rather do products, we've got a product that I absolutely love, and it's called Ultimate Rescue. And I'll just tell you a secret, and I'm probably not supposed to say this out loud, but I'll tell you a secret. When I was in college, and I went to college here at the U of H, when I was in college, we would go down to the local Ramada Inn, and there were certain country western singers that would come, and they would play on the weekends. And one of the songs that was very popular at the time was Put a Nipple on a Bottle of Ripple, right? So if you're of a certain age, you'll remember that song. Well, I had no idea what Ripple was because our family didn't drink, but I found out it was a really cheap wine that you could get at the grocery store. And this country western song, I don't remember anything about it except he was so overwhelmed and anxious or sad or whatever that he wanted to turn the wine bottle into a baby bottle, right? So I laughingly tell our formulator of Ultimate Rescue that I want to put a nipple on it because it is very, very good to help you get through the anxious moments. And what it has in it is it has Bach flowers. You can look that up on the internet, B-A-C-H flowers. Edward Bach. Some people say Batch, but I say Bach. He was a botanist in England, and he says that as he was walking through the garden that the Holy Spirit would tell him that this plant was good for this emotion and this plant was good for that emotion. And there are 33 Bach remedies that help you deal with emotional issues. So we use Bach remedies a lot here in the clinic, and Ultimate Rescue has the Bach remedies that are for anxiety and tension and emotional upset. But it also has cellular energy for your mitochondria in your cells, and it also has other stuff in there that I'm not looking at a bottle, so I couldn't tell you what it has. But it is really, really good for emotional upset. We have that here in the clinic. We also have nervine herbs. Nervine herbs are sedatives, and they work much like you would get an antidepressant or something like that, but it's all plant-based, and so there's no narcotic. It just calms the system. So we do have things. If you're not happy with tapping and you want to have a product, then we can definitely work with you on that. Oh, and we have Ultimate Rescue here. Okay, so it has in it, it's got your Bach flowers, it's got your cherry plum, it's got your clematis, it's got your impatiens, your Rock Rose, and your Star of Bethlehem. Now, those are all flower remedies for different. Star of Bethlehem is for grief. Impatience is for patience, so you can have patience to get through what you're going through. The other ones have other things I can't remember, but they're potentized at a homeopathic level, which it's going to take too long for me to explain that to you. And it also has, as I said, the ATP. It also has pineal glandular and thymus glandular. So your pineal gland is in the brain. I think the amygdala is right behind that. So we talked about the amygdala, can't say that word. So Ultimate Rescue, this is what I tell Dr. Cass all the time. We need to have it in a bigger bottle. And then we also have the Rescue Pastels. Now, this is actually a Bach product. They're lemon flavored, but we have orange too, I think. We may be sold out of them. This has, let me see. It's got clematis, impatience, a lot of Latin things that I can't say, I'm sorry to say. But anyway, this is the Bach remedy that has those flowers in there. It should be at a homeopathic level, but it doesn't say. So, I don't know. But anyway, this is something you can carry in your purse. I carry this in my purse. I put it in my drink. You guys know that we do radio every week. And so I take my little Yeti cup, and it has about 3 dropperfuls of the Ultimate Rescue in there. Why? Because you're doing a live broadcast, and you don't know what your guest is going to be saying, and you don't want to make a fool of yourself on the radio. And so the Ultimate Rescue just keeps everything calm, and my brain is working, and I'm usually able to track with whoever is talking to me on the radio. So I've got it in there today because why? Because we're on Facebook Live. And it's a stressful time, and it's the weekend, and all that kind of thing. So we've got about 2 minutes. So I know we don't have many people on today, but that's because everybody is out helping their neighbor and doing what they need to do with the rescue relief. Now, I will tell you, I won't be here next week. Next week is September the 8th, and my grandbabies, who live 2 hours away, they want me to come and have lunch with them. So I'm going to be out of pocket next Friday, but I'll see you on the next Friday, and we'll continue the conversation. Hopefully by then, most of us will have had things put in place, and so we're not anxious. But remember the emotional freedom technique. If you have any questions, you can call us here at the office. We can walk you through it. You can replay the video. It's all good. You guys be blessed. It's a sunny day. I saw the radio forecast. I saw the TV forecast this morning, and they said no rain for 5 days. So that should give us a lot of time to dry out, and we're just going to move forward. So have a blessed weekend. Treat yourself well. Get rid of the anxiety. Do your affirmations. Get the energy going in the right way so that you can be a blessing. Love you guys. See you in 2 weeks.